What got you into entrepreneurship or
It
business
was really
ownership?
just wanting to be able to do my own thing. I grew up working with my dad in construction, and then realized like while I was making $1, the company was probably making 20.
Hey, you! We're here in Charleston, South Carolina. This is the People's Podcast, too. I'm the Y guy, and you are our Y.
I think in some type of way, I struggle a little bit every day.
I just pray and then put my effort into whatever thing I want to put it into.
Communication is the key to success. I mean, that's what they say.
Absolutely. Yeah, unity is so important.
You are our Y. Hey, everybody, this is the Y guy. We're in Charleston, South Carolina, and we're here with
James.
James. Well, I appreciate you so much for just even coming over and offering a hand, but thank you now for being willing to do a little interview with me, man. It's just like I'm so grateful for you. Like I said, not often does someone come over even just offer a hand, so I appreciate that. And how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. It's Christmas time though, so you just got to be in the spirit of things, and that's I'd love to say that every time I've seen somebody on the side of the road just trying to fix a tire, I've stopped and helped out, but just figured while I'm here, I'm waiting on gas to fill up my car, so make sure everything was all right.
Well, I really appreciate it, James, man. I actually just was going 80 miles an hour past somebody working on the car, and I was like, oh, I should stop. I probably could help, but I didn't. So that's me, and I kept going, and you were the one that actually did come over and say if I needed some help. So appreciate it again. And are you from this area?
Yeah, so I live just south of Charleston in a small town, just south, about 20 minutes from downtown.
Okay. Why do you choose to stick around here?
I just like the area. I grew up surfing and all around on the beach, and then there's a small beach out towards my way called Edisto Island, and it's just a small town kind of vibe. That's just kind of where I go and hang out with people and chill for the weekend sometimes. And it's a beautiful place once you get to find the little nicks.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it at all. I went and saw a couple surfers out there. It looks pretty cool. I've never tried it once. Is it something you still do every day, or not every day? Excuse me, but like every once in a while.
I don't get as much to do it anymore, but I wish I did. It's just so busy with life now and everything else. But hopefully, maybe one day it'll calm down enough to get back out there.
Nice. And what do you do to earn a living right now?
So I work for Southern Lumber. It's a big lumber company here, and so I work in their millwork shop. And we do custom doors, windows, stairs, really anything. But I'd say we mostly stick to the doors and stairs. So I work there, and then I own a small company on the side.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's big. What got you into entrepreneurship?
It was really just wanting to be able to do my own thing. I grew up working with my dad in construction, and then realized like while I was making $1, the company was probably making 20.
Exactly.
And I just realized that I didn't want to do that, and I wanted to get out on my own and be able to not necessarily make my own schedule, but try and pick up things that I wanted to pick up, and be able to say yay or nay to whether or not I wanted to do something, and so and for a long time I struggled with trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to do something with my hands, but I didn't know exactly what it was going to be. And so one day it just clicked. I was sitting there talking to a friend of mine, and I said, dude, I don't know what I'm going to do. It would be so cool to just work in a shop for the rest of my life and own my own company. And he said, well, then do it. And we sat down that day and made a list of like what was going to be the next couple steps. And we started there. And, by no means is it a full-blown company by any means yet. It's I just do enough to make a little extra side money. Right now I finished school, and then, but it's just in the beginning.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see where that goes over the next couple of years. See if maybe one day it's a fully functioning business in it of itself.
Yeah, I was just about to ask. You see it coming, you take it over as your full-time income, and
that's my hope.
Yeah, let's go. And what are you currently going to school for?
So I'm going to school for business. My mom was dead set on me getting some sort of college degree, so
yeah,
just went for something. I started out as actually an engineering major, and then said that's not for me, and so I took a semester off and then went back this spring, and so just trying to finish that up now. And
wow, so how old are you right now?
20.
Wow, man, to already be in business mindset, that's huge. That's
Yeah.
huge, and my mom would love to hear that. She wanted me to get into college, and I kind of failed her on that opportunity, but that's awesome, man. And do you think if your story was told to anybody, it can make an impact on their life?
I'd say maybe. You just got to take that leap. I mean, I had a few people that had some confidence in me, and while I didn't have a whole lot of myself, but they believed in me enough to push me to do it. And so that would be the biggest thing is, as long as you surround yourself with people that are going to support you, you
Huge.
can do anything you want.
I love that message of borrowing
Mhm.
someone else's belief because it usually works that way all the time. So
Yeah, yeah.
that's huge. Thank you for that little nugget. We're always just looking for one or two little things to be able to help somebody on the other side of this camera. So have you ever dealt with any kind of struggle before?
Yeah, actually, so for I'd say 7 years of my life, I dealt with depression majorly. I still deal with some anxiety, but depression was a big aspect of my life for most of high school and part of middle school. And even now, I still find myself in bouts of it. And I feel like it's something that I'll always struggle with to some degree, but nowhere near like I used to.
Wow.
And so, you know, years ago, and that was part of the struggle. For 7 years, I'd say, of my life, I was so focused on just the day to day of like, how can I get through the day, and do something today, because I didn't want to do anything.
Yeah.
And so I never focused on, like, in high school when they're all like, figure out what you want to do for the rest of your life. I never focused on it. And so that's when then it comes back. And so when I graduated high school, I said, screw it, I guess I'm going to go to school for engineering because it seems kind of interesting. And then I got into it and I hated it. So then it came full circle back. I was like, so then that restarted that process again of having to refigure out how to deal with it, and just kind of move through it. And so over the course of the few years, I just figured it out. And that's the biggest thing, is you just got to keep trying and working through the day to day.
Okay.
Even when it's it might be hard, then all you got to do after that is you turn to those people like I was talking about, with that believe in you, and you turn to them, and if they truly are your friends, then they'll be there for you. And they'll be there just to listen, and maybe not even just offer advice, but just let you vent.
Wow. Yeah.
And because that's sometimes all anybody needs, is they just need somebody to sit there and let them ramble for an hour or two, or however long it takes, just to figure out the root of the problem at the time. And I think that's the biggest thing is for me personally, a lot of times I don't want you to say anything. I just want it to not be that I'm talking to the wall, because I can't because I feel like when we're sitting here talking like this, it actually allows you to you're like, well, is that what I'm trying to say? Because you're trying to make them understand you. And that was the biggest thing for me, was when I had somebody that I could just sit there and bounce ideas off of. That was the biggest thing, and so that was probably what got me through it.
That's huge.
Yeah.
I love that so much, and thank you for getting deep into that, because that's one that I guarantee there's multiple people on the other side of the camera that will be dealing with and are dealing with every single day. So in that moment, I guess definitely people helped you out, but like, what was something that you did to the day to day to get to where you are currently, or what's a practice that you commit to still today that keeps you moving forward?
I just take a minute. I try and take a minute, I'd say, every morning, and just think about all the good things going on in my life right now. And it doesn't have to be 10 minutes. And I usually do it while I'm eating breakfast. I get up, I shower, and then I eat breakfast, and I sit there at the table, and I figure out, and I just kind of say to myself over and over again, this is what's good that's going on today. This is what's good that's going on this week. This is what's good that happened last week, and it just kind of helps remind me of, there's constantly something good going on, even though if maybe last night I didn't sleep very good, or yesterday was a stressful day at work, or something like that, and that's just kind of what I do. And that may not work for everybody, because maybe there's 3 days in a row where there's not, you can't find something good. But even if it just be, hey, maybe, I don't know, maybe somebody said hi to you that you didn't know,
Okay.
or like you're walking around campus if you're at college and somebody says hey to you, and maybe, y'all meet, and then maybe y'all just decide to go get coffee or something together. Or if it's something as simple as maybe somebody held the door for you,
Okay.
and it's just finding those little things. And then that's the biggest thing I can say.
That's huge. I mean, that is one of the biggest you can. Just a foundation of gratitude is the simplest way to start every single day. I mean, that's huge. So I appreciate that so much. And do you think there's a good power in communication, building relationships, and connection with others?
For sure. I think that's the biggest, that's kind of our natural human thing, is we want to have some sort of relationship with somebody, and we don't want to be lonely. And whether it be a friend, a significant other, or maybe it's a mentor, maybe it's, I know for me, I have a lot of mentors in life, and And when you ask me who my best friend is, I tell you he's probably a 50-year-old man.
Yeah.
Which to be 20 and you tell somebody that is crazy, but that's just because they've done so much for me over the past 10 years of my life that that's just who they are to me. They are one of my best friends, and I think that that's the biggest thing anybody can ever look for in life is, and whether it be you don't find a significant other, but maybe you have a best friend for the rest of your life. Just filling that void somehow and having just being able to get out there. I mean, my sister came home from school once and she had no friends here. She left and went to school, and when she came back, there was nobody around to for her to be friends with. So she didn't want to go out and do anything. But finally, one weekend, I said, "Okay, Margaret, we are going out. Okay, we're gonna go out to Folly, and we're just gonna sit there in the restaurant and see if we run into somebody that'll say hi to you or something." Because that's the biggest thing is while she didn't have anybody to go out with, how was she ever gonna have anybody to go out with if she never went out? And she didn't want to go out by herself. So sometimes you just got to put yourself out there. I know for someone in that age range of like 18 to 20 is kind of difficult.
Yeah.
You can't go technically. You can't go to the bar and drink, and that's where you might think that you meet people. But go to the beach if you're around the beach. Maybe go hike a trail if you're in the mountains. Just finding somewhere to get out when you can and possibly run into people. Go to the park. Anything. You just got to find some way to get out there and be around people, and eventually you run into somebody.
Yeah.
I just started talking to this girl, and I was sitting at school one day, waiting to meet with my advisor. Had no plan to ever talk to end up meeting somebody, but she struck up a conversation with me.
Nice. Yeah.
And so we started talking, and my best friend's making fun of me right now because I've seen her like 5 times in the past 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like, she went out on the whim to say hey to me, and now we're friends.
That's what it's about. Yeah.
And that's just how it's got to be. I know it's this weird world now of online Tinder. There's Tinder and all these other apps, and you can meet people on Instagram, you can meet people on Snapchat, but that's not the same as meeting somebody in person and just randomly running into somebody and saying hey.
Big time. I think just what you closed out with is one of the things we challenge, but everybody at the end of this, just talk to one new person every single day. And that right there, you just probably summed that up so perfectly in that statement you just said. And you gave your all in that. So thank you so much too. And do you think goal setting is necessary to inspire action, keep moving forward every day?
Oh, for sure. And whether it be a 5-year goal, a 10-year goal, a 1-week goal, that's what you got to do. You might set that your goal for the end of the week is to set up a budget for yourself. If you're maybe you're struggling with your finances, just to set up a budget for yourself. But maybe your 6 months goal is that you can look back and say that your budget has improved. Or maybe it's like we were talking about. Maybe it's every day I'm gonna say hey to somebody new. And maybe that's a goal for yourself. Or maybe your goal is, you set a 5-year goal of, maybe or not a 5-year goal. Maybe you just started college, but you want to get done in 4 years. So your goal is to be done in 4 years. And that's a lot of times now that isn't the expectation. I mean, I've known a lot of people that have gone 6, 7, even longer for a 4-year degree, but they get it done, and maybe you set that 4-year that goal of 4 years, and maybe it takes you 4.5, but that's okay. You still got close to your goal. But if we don't set goals for ourselves, we're never gonna push ourselves to do something. And that's just the best way to grow. When you push yourself, that's when you can start growing more in life.
Yep. It's usually always on the outside of not wanting to do it too. So, and then you just go to the next step, So I appreciate that, setting it up in such a good pattern, 1 week, and then build off of that. So I appreciate that too, James. And my last one for you is, do you think a message like unity in today's world, or you and I working together, can make an impact if it gets out to people?
I think for sure, man. I hate to say it, but this world's crazy right now. There's so much negativity, and there's so much kind of not even conflict, but maybe just rash decision making. So somebody cuts me off in traffic, so now I'm gonna follow them to the gas station. I had that happen last week. I actually cut somebody off because I was trying to get away from somebody else that just cut me off. Cut somebody off, and he followed me all the way to this same gas station from the interstate. That's just crazy. Like, why are you going to that extent? Like, what's the point? What is it gonna do? You following somebody to the gas station to say, you know, like to just scream at them for a minute. Like, okay, if that's what you really need in your life, then that's fine. But the sheer negativity in the world right now and the conflict, it's just crazy to me. You know, I can't say it more than it's just crazy. You know, we all live in a country right now that was founded so many years ago on the basis of freedom because they wanted to get away from the people that were hating on them, you know? So why are we all hating on, you know, us or like what we did? You know, I'm not going to say that our history is perfect. And I'm not going to say that we shouldn't have learned from it because I think we have, but I think that we've come a long way, but I still think there's a long way to go. And this constant recirculation crap of always going back to the racism thing is starting to get old. You know, I will agree with you that there are people in this world that are still racist. You know, there are people in this world that there are white people in this world that don't like black people, and there are black people in this world that don't like white people. You know, and that's just how it's gonna be. But there's no point in us all, you know, graduating to that. You know, I think there will always be one person. There will always be at least one person. But if the majority of people are just accepting of everybody else, then everything will, you know, I think that everybody will be a lot happier.
Yeah.
And there'll be a lot less negativity and just like quick, rash thinking, you know. And that's the biggest thing for me is, you know, I tend to say what's on my mind. But I think if everybody just chilled out for a minute and just, you know, take a minute and let yourself cool down for a second if you get angry, and then if it still really needs to be said, then you'll say it. But if not, then you won't say it anymore.
Yeah, they call it the 24-hour rule sometimes. But man, that was awesome. I really appreciate your time. And like I was just saying, I almost got a flat tire. You came over, asked for help after a full day of carrying drywall, and you're just probably dead tired, but you're still willing to give us time. And you gave a lot of your, a lot of heart in every single answer. So someone's on the other side of this camera. I guarantee every single answer you gave, they're able to take away at least one thing. And hopefully one person on the other side is able to take away one thing. So I really appreciate it, James. Mind if I get out from you, bro?
Yeah, sure, man.
Thank you so much. That was great. Thank you for watching this interview. We hope and pray that this story could help you, encourage you, or inspire you to take action in any way. We challenge you to see yourself in every interviewee, and we challenge you to get out and talk to one new person every single day. If this impacted your life in any way, please like, share, and subscribe. We're posting one new video every single day, Monday through Saturday. Thank you so much for your time. This is the People's Podcast. We're praying for you always.
Man, that's deep.